They see you as a person that they would like to associate with, and they act like a better version of themselves around you. Hey guys, this is Gabriel, the host of the Distinguished Gentleman channel on YouTube. And today I wanted to talk to you about suits and the power that suits hold. As you can see, I have a beautiful suit on here, 3-piece, have the vest, nice tie, a little hat with the feather. I'm looking good, I'm feeling good. So earlier today, I actually wrote an entire script and I filmed an entire video based off of a script. And the script was basically about the power of a suit. Okay? So I filmed a video that I had pre-written about the power of a suit and how to use that power. And then, after I wrote that video, I said to my wife, I said, listen, you, my daughter, we're going to go to Little Italy. So I live in Ohio, and we have a Little Italy here. And the Little Italy is rich with Italian food, Italian culture. I mean, people of all walks of life come there and enjoy social gatherings, and they have fun. But we went to Little Italy. I said, we're going to go down there. We're going to, walk up and down the hill, the street, check out little stores, maybe get dinner, maybe get a gelato. So we go there, and we're walking up the hill, and we stop, and I say, hey, let's get a gelato. For those of you who don't know what gelato is, it's Italian ice cream, but it's very delicious. It's not like regular ice cream. It's a little bit different, but it was wonderful. So we went and got a gelato and espresso, and I walk up to the counter, and there's a young lady and a young man behind the counter, very pleasant, lovely people. And the guy says to me, your suit looks phenomenal. Your suit looks phenomenal. I say, thank you. It's very kind of you to say that. I really appreciate you. And we start talking. So right there, you can see the power of a suit.
With great power comes great responsibility.
It's a conversation starter. All right, so then I go and sit down at my table with my wife. We're enjoying our meal together. Just a simple gelato and shots of espresso. We're just enjoying some family time because I work a lot. I work like 60 to 80 hours a week. So when I do have time with my family, I like to enjoy it. I'm sure you can resonate with that, those of you out there. While we're at our table eating, this lady walks up to us and she says, sir, I just want to tell you, your suit is very beautiful and that you and your wife are a beautiful couple. You guys are dressed very nice, and I love your daughter. She's a very beautiful child. And then she, reached over and was touching the baby, and the baby was laughing. It was very cute, a very beautiful moment. And then I said to the lady, I was like, I appreciate that you appreciate fine dressing, getting dressed up nice, presenting yourself nice to the world. And she said to me, she says, a lot of guys, they just wake up, get out of bed, they look like they fell off the back of a turnip truck. Now, I'd never heard this phrase before, but it made me laugh, and I thought it was really funny. So we're laughing. And then me and her talk for a while. We're chopping it up. And then, she leaves, and I tell her, thank you again for your kind words, and I hope you have a beautiful evening. And she leaves. Then as soon as we leave the gelato shop, there's another couple out there. And the wife looks at us and says, did you guys just get married? And my wife smiles and says, we've been married over 5 years. And I'm laughing, and I said, and I didn't say anything. I just looked. And then the lady goes, oh, I thought maybe you guys just got married. And then I was like, no, this is how we get dressed up. This is how we dress. And they're like, well, you guys look wonderful. And they're just giving us words of praise, words of approval, affirmation. They're speaking highly of us. So then, we thank them. And my wife says, you guys look beautiful too. My wife's got a very good spirit. She's very loving. And I said, you guys are wonderful. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a beautiful evening. Then we're walking down the street some more. And Little Italy can get busy. It could be shoulder to shoulder, jam-packed, busy at times because it's just such a culturally rich area where people want to be. And the sidewalk is just filled with people. And there's one little group where they're just congregating right in the walkway. And I'm walking up, and I go to say, excuse me, guys. But before the words even come out of my mouth, it was like the suit parted the crowd, like Moses parted the sea. That might sound ridiculous to you, but that's really how it felt. It was like my suit parted us. Now, of course, I still said, excuse me, because I want to have, manners. I want to be a gentleman. I don't want to be a pompous a condescending jerk who just bosses people around, wielding the power of the suit in a negative way. That's not how I don't want to be that way. I want to be a gentleman. I want to be kind. So I said, excuse me, guys, even though they had already moved to be a gentleman. Then we walked on past. Then we're walking down the street a little more. An older gentleman stops me. And now I had seen a bunch of people walk past this guy. He didn't stop anybody, but he stops me. He says, sir, I got to talk to you for a minute. He pulls me over. It was nothing important. I mean, he just wanted to tell me about his experience in Little Italy. I mean, he's just telling me, hey, my birthday's he says, my birthday's coming up next month. And it's funny because they're also having a Columbus Day party down here next month. And, you got to come down. You got to come to this Columbus Day party. There's going to be politicians, and there's going to be the mayor, and there's going to be kids, and we're going to throw out candy, and you got to bring your wife and your daughter. He could have told this to 10 other people that walked by, but he chose to say it to me. I'm not special. I'm just another guy. I got 2 thumbs, 2 eyes, and a nose. I'm just a regular human being. But he chose to stop me. Okay. So, where am I going with this? The power of the suit. It's a conversation starter. It makes people notice you. Okay, it commands respect. It commands authority. It creates likability, credibility. All right, all these beautiful things. This is what the suit can do. Now, it's like any other thing of power. It's like in the movie Spider-Man. You can use your power with responsibility, or you can use it irresponsibly. And if you use it irresponsibly, that's when you come off pompous, you come off arrogant, you come off condescending, you look like a jerk. But if you use the power of the suit with love and you treat people with kindness, you look like a distinguished gentleman. You set yourself apart from the crowd. You're not average. You're a rebel, but not in the negative sense, in the positive way. A rebel toward greatness when a civilization is headed toward anomie, the decline of social values and norms, and you're opposing that. You're opposing that threat. So, back to my evening. Okay. We go down. Visit my grandma because we're in the neighborhood. I love to see my grandmother, see how she's doing. We leave there. We're on the way home. Oh, man, I'm hungry. Are you hungry, babe? Yeah, I'm hungry. Oh, we didn't stop and get food anywhere. What were we thinking? All right, we'll stop at the Domino's. They're still open. I go into Domino's, okay? I walk up to the counter. I'm talking to the associate there. Very friendly guy. He has a cool arm tattoo. I asked him about it. I said, what's that? He said, that's from Assassin's Creed. I said, no way. I said, that's pretty cool. I step outside. All right. I made my order. I step outside for a minute. I think I ran to my truck. And then I come back in. Oh, that's why. I ran in my truck to get a $20 bill because I couldn't put a tip on the card. So I had to run to my truck, scrounge around, find $20, bring it back in to give the guy a tip because I didn't have any tip on the card. And I can't just not tip people. That's not how I roll. You serve me, I tip you. That's a gentleman's way. So I come back inside, and this middle-aged gentleman comes up to me, a Domino's employee, very, very amazing guy, great charisma, very charismatic, a fun guy to be around, right? He's just pouring out good energy. And this guy says to me, he says, I got to tell you, sir, when you walked outside, all of us in here were talking about your suit. And when he said all of us, he meant him, the other employee at Domino's that was also working there with the Assassin's Creed tattoo. But also there was 3 young gentlemen, I'd say maybe seniors in high school, possibly freshmen in college. I don't know. I didn't ask. I'm surmising. I'm guessing. I'm inferring. I'm looking at them and just trying to figure it out. I'm guessing their senior year of high school. But these guys they were not your average high school boys. These guys were very bright. They were very perspicacious, to say the least. And so the one kid sees me put the 20 on the counter. And he says, I feel like if I had a suit, I'd make more money. And I started laughing. And I said, you know what? You're right. And he's like, yeah, it makes sense. And I was like, let me ask you guys something. They're like, what's that? I'm like, have you ever heard of James Allen? And they're like, no, we've never heard of James Allen. And I said, all right. He wrote a book, like a treatise, maybe even an essay, on the aphorism, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, which originally stems from the Bible. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And so I tell that to these guys. And I say what he's saying is, whatever you hold in your mind, whatever thoughts are in your mind for the majority of the time, not just once in a while, but the thoughts in your mind that are there for the majority of the time, if you hold them there long enough in your mind and in your heart, eventually the outer world will start to reveal that to you. So if you're always thinking about a certain thing or certain emotions, the world outside of you will reflect the world inside of you to you. I said, are you guys following me so far? Because it's kind of a deep philosophy if you're new to it. And they're like, no, that makes sense. We get it. And I was like, all right, that's cool. You guys seem sharp. I'm sure you do get it. I said, so here's my take on suits then, now that you're with me on this so far. I said, when you put on a suit, you feel like a gentleman. You think like a gentleman. You act like a gentleman. You talk like a gentleman. You walk like a gentleman. You become the gentleman, okay? So I said, when you become a gentleman, what happens to you? A gentleman's life comes to you. You start to experience the experiences that a gentleman would experience. These guys were loving it. They were like, wow, that's crazy. I never thought of that. I think one of them even said that was profound. And that shows that these were some intelligent young cats to even use a word like profound. A lot of kids nowadays don't talk like that, so I knew these guys were special. Okay, I go outside to go check on my wife and my baby because they're in the truck, and I'm a father, and I got to be a protector, so I go check on them. My wife's like, what is going on out there? You're like a celebrity. What's going on? And I started laughing. I said, you wouldn't believe I just happened to run in to the coolest crowd of guys. It's like unbelievable that all of us like-minded guys would just happen to be at a Domino's at 11 o'clock at night. Like, what's the chances? So I'm telling her my whole story. Telling her about the reactions. And the one guy actually said to me, he said, your suit looks so good, it makes me feel good. Like him, he was talking about himself. He was saying that he felt better just seeing my suit. And that he said he missed his suit and wished he was wearing it. So this is the power of a suit. A suit emits its own energy. Okay? It's like a propulsion of energy that pushes out around you. Like a force field of energy comes from the suit itself. All right? And that's something else I realized is that, so say you have a job that makes you wear a suit. You have to wear a suit at your job, but you hate your job, so you're miserable. And you put on a suit every day, but you're miserable. So your suit is pushing out this force field of positive energy, right? But your mind is in a negative state, canceling out the suit. That's like the worst thing you could ever do. The worst thing you could ever do is wear a positive suit and have a negative mindset because you're canceling it out and you're ruining the power of the suit. So you would never do that. And for some of you who are stuck at a job that you hate, you have two options. You either got to quit that job or you got to quit your negative attitude. You got to either change your attitude about your job, and if it's impossible, if it can't be done, then you have to change your job. You have to get out of there because you can't just be ruining the power of a suit. But yeah. So that's the secret of a suit. The secret of a suit is it commands respect, it commands authority, it creates likability, it creates credibility. It gets people to stop. It's a conversation starter. People want to talk to you. They're attracted to you. And I don't mean like that. I mean they're attracted to you as in they see you as a person that they would like to associate with, and they act like a better version of themselves around you. The suit is like a reminder to uphold greatness. It's a reminder that our past is rich and we come from people that have integrity. We don't have to be a part of a failing society with a decaying culture. We can transcend above this. We can come from a lower place to a higher place. We can use ethos and logos and reason and cognition, and we can use positive emotion, and we can beat this negative culture. And I believe the suit is a good stepping stone. I believe it's a great start on this journey. So then when I was leaving the restaurant, I wanted to leave these guys are loving me, I'm loving them, we're having a great time. So I wanted to leave them on a fun word because I've been studying words. I call it lexicon training. So I wanted to leave them on a positive word. And the word I left them on was, this is what I said. I said, you guys, it's been great talking to you, and I hope you have a pulchritudinous evening. And when I said that, all the young guys were like, oh, what, pulchritudinous? The one guy repeated, pulchritudinous, whoa. And they were laughing, having a fun time. And then I just nodded my head and stepped out and left. And then I got in the car and I said, honey, I said that whole video I wrote earlier, the script, and it was forced. And I wrote it all and tried to memorize it. And then I tried to read the script behind the camera. It just didn't feel real. It didn't feel like me. And I don't think that it's going to resonate with a real audience. So it's what time is it? It's midnight right now. Usually midnight, I've been asleep for hours. I usually get up at 5. I'm in bed by 9. But I had a whole script written for this video on Suits, and I recorded it, and then I went out and I lived my life in the suit, and I experienced the suit, and I felt the feelings, and I saw the people treating me differently than if I were to have basketball shorts on and a t-shirt looking like a 300-pound 10-year-old. It doesn't make any sense. And then I came home and I knew I got to reshoot this video. I got to do it off the cuff, off the top of my head, off the dome, from the heart. And I got to deliver a video to the people on the true power of a suit. So if you're a young man out there, and if you don't like how your life currently is, if you want to be more successful, happier, wealthier, if you want to be more persuasive, you want to be a better advisor, salesman, marketer, brander, whatever it is you may want, go out, buy a couple nice suits, get them fitted. They got to fit right, or else you're going to look silly. Get a couple nice suits. I mean, personally, I have about 10 suits. And you can mix them. You know, you can mix your pants with it. This jacket, this pants, this vest. You can throw different shirts on, different ties, different hats, different shoes. But go out and get a couple nice suits and start wearing them. You know, wear them whenever you can. As often as you want. And, you know, sometimes people might say, hey, what are you doing? What are you going to a wedding? You know, what are you going to a funeral? What, somebody get married today? What's going on? What's a special occasion? And you're going to say, no occasion. This is just how I dress. I just like it. I just like suits. I like feeling like a distinguished gentleman. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people they might look at you funny, probably your inner circle that's used to you dressing a certain way. But complete strangers who don't know you to dress like a slob or a bum, they've only met you dressed like this, they're going to love you. They're going to think you look great, and you're going to have an impact. And one last thing, I know this video is really drowning out here, and it's funny. Earlier, I could barely get 8 minutes. Now I'm at 16 minutes, and I can't stop it. I'm trying to stop it because I don't want to waste your guys' time either. But it's funny. There is something I noticed. If I tell you the truth in jeans and a t-shirt, you can tell I'm telling you the truth, usually. If I tell you a truth dressed like this, I'm embodying the truth. That's the difference. Jeans, telling the truth. Fitted suit, embodying the truth. That's the difference. So, once again, my name's Gabriel. I'm the host of The Distinguished Gentleman. I ask that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. I promise you every week I'm going to try to bring more videos on business philosophy, life philosophy, ideas. I'm going to do interviews with other business owners because I own a business. I'm going to interview other business owners. I'm going to ask them about their sales strategies, marketing, branding. I'm going to ask them about their life philosophies, their business philosophies. We're going to get a lot of great content. So please follow us and look forward to our upcoming content. And as always, gentlemen, stay distinguished.